Chief guest of the evening, Dr. Harish Hande, Mr. Sudarshan, President AIVBOC, my colleague directors on the board, Mr. Ramarao, Mr. Nageshwar Rao, Mr. Prakash Rao, general managers, representatives of the various associations and the unions, ex-Vijayis, my dear Vijayis. At the outset, let me extend my compliment to the All India Vijaya Bank Officers Association on its 16th Triennial General Body meeting today at Bangalore. All India Vijaya Bank organizations, the organization which I know for almost 2 years, it is one of the most progressive, forward-looking association. The kind of growth, the kind of positive ideas, the kind of inputs we receive from the representatives and the teams of the All India Vijaya Bank Associations, I think it gives a lot of thought-provoking to the top management and also provides us to the areas of deliberations for the growth of this bank. This great bank, we know that it's been growing by leaps and bounds for the last few years. And the All India Vijaya Bank Officers Associations have a significant and a monumental role for the growth of this great organization. In case we look at the traits of a good organization, of a great organization, of a good institution, the couple of traits which dominate in our mind today evening is, especially in the service-oriented industry, in the banking industry which we are representing, that the morale of the people, morale of the employees should be very, very high. We need a motivated workforce. As a management, we can support, we can provide that infrastructure, but ultimately it is organizations like Vijaya Bank Officers Associations which nurtures each individual through the various deliberations, through the various one-to-one sessions, through the gatherings. And when the entire organization glows, I think it reflects the organizations like All India Vijaya Bank Officers Association which they represent. All the top management sitting in the first rows, they have been soldiers and the cadets of this great organization. And we have the people on the dais, Mr. Nageshwar Rao, who has also been nurtured during his early days through this All India Vijaya Bank organization. And that's how, you see the kind of discipline, the kind of commitment each of the Vijayis has. We greatly salute the remarkable contributions made by these great associations at all spheres of the Vijaya Bank, keeping the full harmony, keeping always the growth objectives in their minds, and keeping the organizational goals at the top of their agendas whenever and wherever we meet. Another good trait of an organization, a healthy organization, is call to work, call to action. That means as and when a call is given, the entire team goes to action. And this time, what we have seen in the last 32 days from the 9th November, it was not even a call, it was a thought to action. We just thought, and the entire Vijayas, they came as streams. Without giving a formal call, whether they are working Vijayas or whether they are retired Vijayas, each one of them contributed significantly and immensely, and the performance is all before us, not only before us, before the customers, before the entire banking industry, before the government of India, and before all people who matter. That's a kind of commitment we have. Another trait, which comes is passion to work. The kind of growth we have seen in the Vijaya Bank during the past few years, 37.04% growth in the housing loans YOY, while about a couple of years back we were at the lowest rung of the net interest margins banks, from the 1.83% to 2.61%, and looking towards the figure of 2.80 in the times to come. In the time when the entire banking industry was concerned to maintain the profits, but here was this bank which showed a 43% growth in YOY in the operating profit, taking to the all-time high of the 570 crores for the September 2016 quarter. And in spite of the stormy and the difficult weather, the Vijaya Bank has been able to contain the growth of the non-performing assets. We enjoy the reputation of the lowest among the public sector banks in terms of the gross NPAs. And more important is we have been able to reduce the gross NPAs when the rest of the industries is in the 2 digits. Here is one bank, we are able to not only maintain the growth but also reduce the both in terms of percentage and also in terms of the amount. All these things, cannot come from without a passion. That's a passion to work. That's another trait of a healthy organization. Lot of traits, but one more trait, I cannot forget to mention here is a pragmatic and a dynamic leadership. Leadership at all levels. Look at our 2 bright stars, both the executive directors, who have shown the exemplary performance during the past few years, especially. One of the executive directors getting up at 3:30 in the morning to clear the files, which is not able to do during his extended office timings. Another executive director sitting till 2 o'clock in the midnight, thinking and thinking, how do we promote the growth of the organizations? I think we cannot have a better team of the executive directors. Commitment. The kind of passionate leadership these two bright stars of the Vijaya Bank are giving, I can bet it's unmatchable in the banking industry. We are really proud of our general managers, 12 general managers, who are taking the great ship of Vijaya Bank into a new orbit of a growth. So a pragmatic and a dynamic leadership at each level, coupled with all the traits, motivated employee, passion to work, call to act, and many others, has actually made a Vijaya Bank a glowing star in the banking industry. My dear friends, it is very easy to give examples. In any conversation, we can give plenty of examples, but it becomes extremely difficult to become an example. That's what, the Vijaya Bank has become an example of a benchmark in the entire banking industry, for which from this platform, I want to give my heartfelt gratitude to all my 15,835 employees, right from the part-time sweepers to the peons, to the clerks, and to the officers who have worked who have given outstanding performance in their area of operations, and other banks when we meet at the various forums. They say, why don't you adopt the approach of a Vijaya Bank? When a Vijaya Bank can show such a exemplary performance, why not you? That's what it is. But let me also tell you, whenever we meet to the organizational secretaries, president, and the general secretaries of the All India Vijaya Bank Officers Associations, they come with a demand. The management takes it as a necessity. When the management gives them a call, the association takes it as a need. And when there is a mixed blend of necessity and need, we can only hear the good thrilling beats of music of A.R. Rahman, and that's how we are enjoying the benefits of this harmonious relationship. I would like to place on record the extensive contribution given by each one of the officers, irrespective of their place of posting. I know the kind of performance which Vijaya Bank has shown. It's a teamwork from all the 15,835 Vijayas. But what has happened, my dear friends, in the recent past is we are creating slowly and gradually and silently a new adolescent Vijaya Bank is getting generated within a great Vijaya Bank. Out of the 15,835 Vijayas, the 6,203 Vijayas have joined in the last 3 years. And in the last 3 years also, we have opened 492 branches. So that's how we can see a green shoot which is giving a lot of support. What happens, when we look at a tree, growing tree, it doesn't bother about how many flowers are falling from the branches of those trees. It is only busy to blossom the more flowers. That's how, whatever has happened in the past, that will continue to happen. But at least the new offshoots, new green shoots, which are appearing in the Vijaya Bank, I think that is giving us a great ray of hope. With this induction of about 6,203 Vijayas, the average age of the Vijayas has become 37 years. And incidentally, that's also the All India Vijaya Bank Officers Association is also into their 37th year today, having completed the 36th years. I think it's going to be a flaming combination. The 37 years of an average age of an employee with a 37 years old All India Vijaya Bank Officers Association. The 37 years symbolizes the sign of maturity, the signs of wisdom, the signs of enthu, the signs of charm. That's how, the Vijaya Bank is growing and glowing in this 37th year. And also the signs of a vision. I am sure, these two deadly combinations are going to continue the transformation journey of the Vijaya Bank into the next era on a year-to-year basis. But what is more important, my dear friends, is we have to be, the success is never a destination. It is always a journey. So whatever we have achieved, I think we have to continue to run with a passion to maintain or to increase the lead. That's what the call of the bank is. We have seen, a lot of developments happening, but at the same time, we have to find the opportunities within the difficult times. Times are never easy. Times are never perfect. It's always the imperfect times. That's when, we tend to grow. And that's how into the difficult times of a demonetization, our own bank has created an aura of opportunities. While the entire banking industry was struggling with the ATMs, here was one bank, which was until recently before the demonetizations, because of the mismatch of the issuing and acquiring transactions, we were running a loss of about 1.5 crore per month. But in the last 1 month, from the 9th November 2016, we are earned a profit of 2.78 crores per month only on the ATM operations. That's where the vision of the Vijayas take place, and that's where, we have to create the opportunities out of the despair. While the whole of the banking industry was struggling with the excess cash management because of the constraints in the entire ecosystem, here, because of the proactive steps taken by both the executive directors and ably executed by the general managers, this is a Vijaya Bank, we have been able to make a profit of 86 lakh per day. That's about 26 crores over and above the other profit only because of the proper cash management systems in the last 1 month. We have to create an opportunities. We have to create a light from nowhere. Always the comforts, the comfort cells are always good. It is always good to be in a comfort cells, but there unfortunately no growth happens. That's why, I want to appeal to you, my dear Vijayas, on this platform, and through you to all the 15,835 Vijayas across the pan-India, that going forward, whatever we have done in the past, we have to extend, improve our glory. We know that we have started from 1,258 crores of an operating profit in the year 2015, which has grown to 1,548 crores. And this year we had given a call that we'll have 2,000 branches, we have 2,000 ATMs, and we will cross the 2,000 crore of an operating profit by March 2017. And I am very, very happy to inform you that we are all poised to achieve that. And the kind of growth, the kind of parameters, in spite of the difficult situations we have with us, the kind of efforts made by each one of you is yielding results quarter after quarter. And I am quite confident that we are able to cross all these three parameters by an adequate margin by March 2017. Couple of points, one is compliance in this era of the IT, in this era of demonetization. I think compliance is one area where I would expect each one of you to put an extra vigil. You know that couple of private banks whose names are being circulated, what kind of a reputation risk they are passing through. A small incident of such kind can create havoc in our growth path. I know that I have a full confidence and trust on the Vijaya's team, all the 15,835 Vijayas. But still, it is extremely important that we continue to maintain the highest level of vigil, not only during the process of demonetizations, but also ever thereafter, because compliance is one in which we expect zero tolerance, no compromise. Another point, which I want to throw before you is digitization. We know that, somehow with the visions of the entire top management, while the other banks are struggling to cross a barrier of 2 lakh or a 3 lakh for the mobile activation, here is Vijaya Bank, who is touching the figure of 1 million active users in the Vijaya Bank. I think that's a great story which we have made. Now, the opportunity is there, while all the other banks are also, struggling about what kind of a mobile wallet we have to give to the customers. But here is one bank, we not only have wallet, we have, variety of wallets. Whether you want to offer a Van Heusen wallet or whether you want to offer Calvin Klein wallet, whether you want to have a mobile wallet of Visa or whether you want to offer a Pay Quick or whether you want to offer a Jhatpat. And when, the digitization swing is at the highest speed, my earnest request is to make best advantage from this ongoing digitization process. All those 1 million and plus who are going to be users of our mobile banking, within the shortest possible time, they should all be using our mobile wallets. That's what the call I want to give. Compliance and digitization. Ultimately, they say that nothing grows in case the growth stops. No matter, what is happening in the global economy, no matter what is happening in the Indian economy, but there are a lot of opportunities, offshoots, where we can still look for some growth. That's how, in the top management, after deliberating, we have created an idea that this is the right time. Besides our continuous focus onto the retail and the MSMEs, we have to target those governments, public sectors, and the state government departments. My dear friends, it is extremely important that we grow in size. While the retails and MSMEs can give some incremental growth, but in case we want to grow without compromising on the quality of our assets, we have to hit all our state government departments, public sector undertakings. They have the huge debt requirement, at the conservative estimates, I have been told that about 1,30,000 crores is the debt these state governments and the public companies have availed. That's a gold mine for them. We have to go and approach, and we have to tell them that here is a Vijaya Bank, we want to participate in most of your initiatives, and we want to become a partner of your growth in whatever area of operations they want to grow. Trust me, Vijaya is without growth, it will become extremely difficult to continue to grow and glow the way we have done in the past few years. Earnest appeal is, I know all of you are very well connected. Use your skills, use your connections, use your network to garner at least one department's business. I think that would be the significant and the biggest contribution to the growth story of the Vijaya Bank which you can ever do. Last but not the least is a profitability. We have a concept of a profitability of the branches, my dear friends. We are able to do umpteen number of the corporate social responsibilities. We have air-conditioned all the branches. We have opened 246 branches last year. We have done 136 branches till in the first 9 months. Given a lot of benefits to the staff. Just because there was a consistent and sustained growth in the operating profit. But I feel at times extremely disappointed when I talk to the branch managers, when I talk to the officers. They even do not know about how much profit or loss their branch is holding. We have launched an extensive campaign for the education of the entire staffs, not only the branch managers, but also officers. My request and appeal to each one of you, and through you to all my remaining, all the 15,835 Vijayas, is please spend half an hour only. I can bet and trust that it is such a simplistic approach for the profitability of the branch. You would all be amazed, and once you get hold of it, then I can assure you that no one on this earth can stop improving the profitability. Extremely simple to absorb. It transparently takes care of what are your expenses, what are the staff expenses, what are your other expenses, what are your income, where you have to grow. I think in case a small act on behalf of the branch managers or the regional managers can improve our profitability by a large amount, I expect you to do so. My dear friends, here is one of the organizations, again, many traits of the All India Vijaya Bank Officers Organization. When I talk to them, I find them more of a banker, less of a leaders, Most of these office bearers have either worked or still working as a branch managers, so they know the constraints of a branch managers. On the other side, they also know the expectations of the top management. So here is a vibrant All India Vijaya Bank Officers Association, probably which is playing a dual role. That's what I always say, that, we still as an officer or employee, we have a one holiday. Even after spending an extended hours, probably we are back to our homes by 7:30, 8:30. But here are the organizational people, who after spending time in the banking business till the extended hours, and there, the another activity of the association starts. I think that kind of a commitment which All India Vijaya Bank Officers Association's comrades have, and that's the strength. Let me also tell you that we have also learned a lot of things from these cadres of the Vijaya Bank Officers Associations. The kind of understanding, the kind of clarity, the kind of information database, the kind of analytical minds they have. At times it is really amazing, you know, the kind of one-liners, the kind of one small and curt advice which we get from the associations. I think behind that, a lot of efforts go in the background, which we greatly appreciate and respect. Notwithstanding to the challenges would always be there. I only expect, hope, and pray that the All India Vijaya Bank Officers Associations under the overall banner of the AIVBOA would continue to grow and glow, would continue to flourish, would continue to guide, would continue to protect, would continue to serve for the economy of the country. And I have absolutely no doubt that what role the public sector banks have played and what role the associations have played in the first 70 years, their role is going to be manifold in the next 1 decade or so. I'm sure the kind of pragmatic approach, the kind of dynamism these associations have, the kind of openness, the kind of patience, the kind of perseverance, the kind of knowledge and the kind of wisdom they have, we feel that the public sector banking industry is safe in the hands of such wise people. I would like to place on record again, you know, the kind of contributions and the vision which is shown by our honorable directors on the board. All the representations by the various forums are very actively and proactively and positively taken up by the honorable board members, and they are extremely happy with the overall performance of the Vijaya Bank, for which I want to again compliment each one of the Vijayas who are working and those who have retired in the last few years. I am extremely happy to be a part of this inaugural session of this triennial conference. I'm sure the remaining 2 days are going to have a lot of deliberations, a lot of thought-provoking ideas. And I'm sure after a week or so, when I meet the leaders of these great organizations, we are going to have a fresh stream of ideas which we would accept and deliberate with an open mind. I once again hope, wish and pray these deliberations are very meaningful, and these are thought-provoking, and these are all growth-oriented, not only for the Vijaya Bank, but also for the banking industry as a whole. Thank you. Good luck.